Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make these cards, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. When you purchase Stampin' Up! Products through me, you can earn free products. Check out my current customer appreciation products on my blog, and the link is listed below in the description. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my second set of alternative cards using the August 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Hope Box. So this kit created 9 cards, and it gives you everything you need to make these beautiful cards. And these are the original designs. And you can watch me unbox this kit or see my other alternative projects and just click on this link and it will take you to the playlist. So today I am using the envelopes from the kit to create these beautiful cards. I really love the colors and the fun designs that came on the envelopes, and so I wanted to use them to create backgrounds for these cards. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is get one of each design of the envelopes, and we're going to remove the sides because we want the front and the back to open to be one big piece. So I'm just going to start by trimming off a small amount on this side here. So that cut opens up one side. So now we're going to make that same cut on the other side. And that will open up our envelope for us. Then we're going to just kind of eyeball, this is in the center of our card. So right around 7 centimeters. And I'm using centimeters because it hits my paper trimmer right there. So do you see that number 7? So I'm placing the fold of the envelope on that number 7. And then I can make my first cut. And then I'll rotate this. And my final height is going to be 5 1/4. So I can go ahead and cut that here. And then the width is going to be 4 inches. I am getting some like a weird flap thing happening here, so I need to trim that off first. So I'm just going to line that up with my cut line and remove that piece, and then I can measure this left side at 4 inches, and that will be the right size for my card. So now I've got this nice background piece that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. So let's go and do the same thing to the other envelopes. So again, this one is now 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we'll repeat for our last envelope. Okay, and there is the last one. So all the pieces that we just cut off from the envelopes, you can either hold on to and use in different ways, or you can throw away. We are going to use the top flap of the pink, so it has pink on it. It matches with this envelope pattern, and so it's just that part in the top corner of that. So we do need to hold on to this piece for this card. So go ahead and put that off to the side. I'd like to start with this yellow hope card. So we're going to begin by stamping on the card. You want to make sure that this is on the right side because that's the correct direction of the butterfly. You don't want it on the left or that butterflies will be upside down. I did use some different color inks. I'm going to use Poppy Parade and Bumblebee. These I felt like went kind of coordinated better with this pattern paper. So I am going to begin stamping with the Poppy Parade and the Hope stamp. And this is just going to get stamped right on top of our background. I want it to be above this score line and just maybe off to the left a little bit. Like that. Then I'm going to be wrapping some twine around here and adding a greeting over this space. So the next thing that I want to stamp is the Where There Is Faith. And this is also stamped in Poppy Parade. And that's going to go down here. Make sure you give plenty of room for your other greeting. So those two. Then we're going to use Bumblebee. And these two sentiments I'm going to stamp on the two small rectangles from the kit. So now I can wrap some twine around my background. I have 18 inches of crumb cake twine, and this is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and it comes in all different colors. We've got white, black, there's a gray, and then this crumb cake. And I thought that this just went really nicely with the colors that are in this pattern. So I'm going to tie a knot first and then a bow, and then I'll slide it over to where I want it. So you just take the front and the back and you slide it down. I'm going to add a glue dot underneath this bow here to just hold everything in place. I don't want it to slide around too much because I want it to cover that score line from the envelope. So it will look something like this. Then we're going to take these two greetings and we're going to add them to our card. This one I'm going to pop up with dimensionals just because it will be over the bow. So I'm going to take a large dimensional and cut it in half. I'm going to place one in the middle and on the side, but I'm going to leave the area that goes over the bow open. So it will look like that. And it's going to go over that ribbon just to help hold everything in place. And then this one, you could also pop up with dimensionals. I didn't on my original, but I'm going to on this one so you can see the difference. Again, cut one in half. And that just goes up and on top of the word hope. Like that. Now I'm going to add it to my card base. This is So Saffron, and it's just been cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So that will just go right there in the center. And we're going to add one of the little butterfly die cuts that came in the kit. Just place a glue dot on the back and up at the top, and then kind of just open up those wings a little bit so you get a little dimension. And then I'm going to add a couple sequins as well, just around the sentiment. Just like that. And this card is all done. So let's go on to card number 2. So for card number 2, we're going to use that red flap. So the best thing to do is to begin by trimming down one side, just so that you have a nice flat edge to work on. And then here we're going to trim it nice and straight across. And then again, we need to trim down this side so it's nice and straight. And then the width that you're looking for, it's really up to you if you want to go with a 1 inch or if you maybe want to go a little bit wider at 1 1/4 inches. That is totally your decision. And then you're coming across and you just want it to be 4 inches so it goes across your card. So this is just another way to hide the score line from the envelope. So the first card we used twine and hid it underneath that. And this one we'll use just some of the just some pattern paper, really. So you're going to add this to your card and it'll just go straight across. You want to cover the score line, but not necessarily cover any of the butterfly elements. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add more butterflies here along the left edge. I'm going to begin with the bumblebee. I have stamped one of the large butterfly images that came in the kit up here in the top left corner. Then I'm going to stamp another large one down in the bottom right with some Melon Mambo ink. So I'm just to clean this, because the Melon Mambo is a darker color, I'm not going to really worry about cleaning too much. I'm just stamping off all the ink and then picking up some of that nice bright pink. It's going to be down here in the bottom corner. And then I'm going to also stamp the tiny butterfly that came in the kit up here at the top. Next, I'm going to stamp some Bermuda Bay, and I'm just doing a little butterfly this time. So again, just kind of stamp off until that ink dissipates, and then pick up some of that pretty Bermuda Bay, and this is going to go down here at the bottom. So this is all of the stamping that we're going to do in the butterflies here on the left edge of our background paper. So now we're going to do some stamping on the background for some greeting and some butterflies that we will fussy cut out. I'm doing those both in Blackberry Bliss. So let's do the greeting first. So this says just a note of hope. But for our greeting, we want to focus on just a note of. And so I'm going to cover up the word hope with some washi tape. And the easiest way to do this is just in little pieces. So start at the top of hope and then bring a piece all the way down and covering up that stamp right there. So then once you have that covered, you're going to ink up the text that you want. Don't put too much ink on the washi tape. And then you can remove the washi tape, throw that away so you don't get ink everywhere. And then you can stamp this near the butterflies on your card, and you're just going to get the part of the greeting that you want. Then we're going to add hope here to our card, just like that, and that goes with some dimensionals. And then let's stamp our butterflies. So yesterday I shared 3 different alternative cards, and we had one of the back sides of the card bases left over. So we're going to be using that today for some of our extra stamping. So I'm still going to use Blackberry Bliss, and I'm using the butterflies again. So I want to just stamp off on some scratch paper. And then stamp these on this extra piece of cardstock from the kit. And then we're going to fussy cut these out. Okay, so I'm all done with that, and we can add those to our card. So let's go ahead and add this to our card base first. I've got a card base of mint macaron, and then placing this right in the center. Then I'm going to add the butterflies with some glue dots on the back. Just kind of place those on my card. We're keeping all the butterflies kind of in this general area. Then I'm going to add some of the die cut butterflies from the kit. We've got the yellow and the Bermuda Bay. And place a glue dot on the back of each of these as well. And the yellow one goes right around here. And then the Bermuda Bay up here. So it will look something like this. Then you're going to take some of this ribbon. So this is some of the ribbon that I used from yesterday's alternative cards. And what we did is we cut it 12 inches, and then we've been removing some of these long pieces from the center. So you're just going to maybe grab, we did 4 or 5 yesterday, and we'll just do the same thing again. And you just kind of scrunch it down until it starts to come out, and then just keep going all the way down the ribbon. Then it pulls out like that. And then what I did is I'm creating a double bow, and I'm just going to start by tying a regular bow here. Just like that. And then I'm going to add it to my card with a glue dot. So just down kind of in the corner of the greeting here. So place that down first. And then you're going to take your ends and you'll just wrap them around again to create that double bow look. And you can do these ones just a little smaller than the other one. And just make sure everything is adhered really well. Then you can just take a pair of scissors and trim the ends. And that just kind of creates a fuller bow for our card. And the last thing we're going to add are some of our sequins. So I've got those here with my pickup tool. And just adding 3. And that card is all done. So let's go ahead and move on to card number 3. So this is card number 3, and we're going to begin by taking that back piece, that was the extra piece from the alternative cards yesterday, and we're going to cut this rectangle here. So I'm going to start at 2 3/4, and then I'm going to rotate to 3 inches. Then I'm going to stamp that large greeting in Blackberry Bliss right in the center on that piece. So it should look something like this. Then I'm going to clean this stamp because we're working from dark to light. So just use my chamois for that. Then I'm going to stamp the Hope and Tomorrow in Melon Mambo on some of these pieces from the kit. So the kit included some die cut pieces that were in different languages, and I don't want to waste them. So what I'm going to do is take them out and flip them over and then stamp the words on the back. So we're going to do Hope with the small one. So I can just do my best to ink up only Hope, and then go ahead and stamp that on here. If you do get a little of over stamping, you can just take a pair of paper snips and trim it down a little bit. And then the next one is tomorrow. So I've added glue dots to the back, and I'm just going to place them over the original text. Just like that. So now we're going to add some things to our card base. I have a card base of fresh freesia, and I'm just going to place the envelope on there first. Then I'm going to take some of the ribbon we've been using. So you can see that it's got some holes in it. I think it's got some really fun texture. I'm going to just measure that across and take a pair of good ribbon or fabric scissors and just add that right over that score line to hide it. And then we'll place our greeting that we just stamped with some dimensionals. And that just goes in the center. Then I've got these die cut butterflies, and I've added a glue dot to the back, and we can just pop those up next to the greeting. And then last, we'll add some sequins. And that card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create these 3 cards using the envelopes from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you're interested in subscribing to get your own Paper Pumpkin Kit, please use the link in the description box below. If you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images of these cards, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.